Welcome to another episode of InRange. This is a particularly exciting video because we have two, not one, but two WWSD 2020 rifles. And we're doing something today we haven't done in quite a while. Your schedule has been very busy, and we've been waiting for these rifles, but we're doing a versus today. Yep, and we're doing it with not weird old broken stuff.
No handicaps.
The opposite.
The real stuff.
Super modern, good stuff.
Yep.
So we're kind of configured the same, aren't we, or similar?
Yeah, I think you've got a newer magnifier.
Yeah, this is the Vortex, the Micro 3X, and I'm using the Holosun 503 CU Circle Dot, which we've been talking about since the 2017, essentially.
Yep.
Still being great. And you are?
I have an Aimpoint Comp M5 on here because I had one, and so I figured what better rifle to put it on than this. Nothing whatsoever wrong with the Holosun. I kind of like the Circle Dot reticle, in fact.
I really like Circle Dot, actually, yeah.
I've got our older magnifier. This is the same one that we had on the 2017 rifles. They now have a more compact magnifier unit. Other than that, I think they're basically identical.
Well, they should be. They're the same gun.
Now, I really like my bipods, so I've got a piece of rail out there.
Okay.
For a B&T bipod.
Yeah, I'm going slick. I don't have anything on here at all right now.
I figure especially if I'm wearing armor, I'm allowed to use whatever kit I want, so I'm going to throw a bipod on there.
Now, we never went official with any particular bipod selection. Are you saying this is the official WWSD bipod?
No, that's the one that I like.
Okay.
It's the one I've got. It is predictably the one that the French adopted with the 416. It is very lightweight. It's, I think, like 5 ounces total. Extends a little bit.
Yeah, that's easy.
It is probably fragile, relatively speaking.
Okay.
I suspect I could break it if I really tried hard. I haven't tried hard yet. And for the time being, it works well. It's light. It's quick to detach.
They're kind of hard to get, though, aren't they?
It was when I got it, but that was several years ago now. So it might be easier.
I guess the closest equivalent on the American market is the Magpul, but the Magpul's still bigger and heavier than that.
Yeah, I tried the Magpul. I prefer this. It's faster. It's lighter.
Okay. And then there is a little bit of pistol today. What are you using for your pistol?
I have a Bull Armory M5.
The heck is a Bull Armory M5?
It's like...
That's a 1911.
Yeah, it's a double stack 9mm polymer frame 1911.
Okay, and I'm sticking with 10mm FK Burno. So today is not 7.5. I'm going 10mm because 10mm is currently cheaper than 9mm. Whatever.
What a weird time.
That's fine, right? So it should be interesting. We've got 3 stages today. They're all pretty marksmanship oriented. We've got some longer range than usual offhand, and we've got some good movement and dynamic small targets. So it'll be interesting to see now that we're using exactly the same gun. How this goes today.
Yeah.
Hit. 91.51. Hit. Hit. Nicely done.
Last round.
Good run.
Thank you.
So we just watched a number of people not finish the stage. They timed out. But neither of us did.
Nope.
That said, you got me by 5 seconds.
6.
6 seconds. Let me not cheat you on
And I want credit for every one of them.
You got 6 seconds on me. Are you saying it's the sling?
Yes, it is entirely my motivational blue sling.
Yep. So in armor division, you can actually change your gear as long as you keep it on you.
Right.
So I have a sling with the rifle, but I stuffed it in my bag so I didn't have to bother with it. What happened with me there is I just wasn't methodical enough. I was firing faster than my sight picture was being acquired, and it's hard right now. It's hard to get practice out there. I don't want to burn out my ammunition in the desert, and we're not shooting matches as much as we used to. And yeah, it sounds like an excuse, and it is. But congratulations.
200 yard, 175?
175.
175 yard offhand on mini IPSCs. It's hard.
Yeah.
These are tricky shots.
Yep, especially on the VTAC.
See, I found the VTAC fairly easy.
Now, so
because the rifle was rested the whole time.
So were you resting on the muzzle, or what were you doing?
No, I was using the flip.
Were you able to shove it through?
Yeah.
Yeah, see, I didn't.
I put a little more, well, there's only that one slot where it was harder to get. And I just kind of muscled it in there.
Yeah, so I was kind of just trying to balance it in there, which probably didn't help. But regardless, we both had a good score.
Yeah.
I was 91, you were
85.
85. So
Yep.
we got 2 more stages to go, and anything can happen at a brutality style match. But congratulations on a...
I've cleared the long range. I'm happy. And I did it with my very last round.
You did, and I had a mag change.
I was starting, at the end of the VTAC, I was starting to think about a proactive mag change. Because I'm like, I've been missing a bunch. I don't know that I'm going to make it through this. And just, I put it off. I'm like, well, maybe after this shot. Well, maybe after this shot. And once I got to the offhand at the end, I'm like, maybe.
You didn't need it, but it wouldn't have hurt you to do that between the VTAC and the last offhand position.
In theory,
could have
yeah.
dump pouched it.
Yeah.
So you lucked out a little bit. Plus, you used your special magic powers to make the targets more visible for you.
Yes, the special magic power being wiping the dirt off my magnifier lens.
That is good magic power. Yep. That brings some powerful medicine to the range.
Yes.
Well, let's see how it goes.
All right, next one. I see clear. Exactly the same place.
Empty here last week. Two new girls. I haven't seen that one. Yeah, she's brand new. Picture. The problem is
Left. Draw left. Low. When you're missing your left. All right, so this stage was 18 rounds limited, all on paper, at 50 yards, which seems like nothing.
Easy, piece of cake.
Until you're moving position, you have to transition from target to target. One of the things we do at two-gun all the time is target transitions. Something you don't see in a lot of other matches, which is 1, 1, 1. And that should be nothing, but you know what? I swung through and I threw 2 shots.
Yep.
I should have slowed down more, should have been more stable.
Oh, I mean, what? The penalty for that's what, 5 seconds? For
No, 30 seconds per
Oh,
shot.
right, 30 seconds for anything you do wrong.
Brutality style scoring, 30 seconds per penalty. So I added up a minute in penalties on that stage.
So you had 68 seconds. I had 112 seconds, and I beat you by 10 seconds.
Correct,
That's
because
how those penalties work.
Because I threw 2 shots.
Yeah.
Now, I cleaned up with the pistol.
Yeah.
That freaking FK Burno is amazing.
Oh, I
As is the
bragged so badly on pistol.
As is the rifle. I mean, the rifle's amazing too. But what happened was, I'm rusty. I admit it. I haven't been shooting much through the pandemic, and I'm coming through the target. And what I tend to do is on a stage that's speed oriented like this, which this shouldn't be speed oriented. That was my mistake. I would shoot as I swing through. So as you're hitting the target, break the trigger, and it should happen as you're hitting the target. And then you go pop, 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 which is why it was 68 seconds. Besides the pistol. Well, guess what? Oops, pop. -3. Which then, Mike.
Yeah. And I think that's, in this case, the target zone was the -1 and the 0.
Right.
If you were in the -3 zone, that counted as a complete miss and a 30-second penalty. Almost all the other competition out there that you've probably done is 2 hits on target.
Yes.
Or worst case, a -3 is -3 seconds, not -30 seconds.
Correct.
So, yeah, I should have actually put the magazine in all the way. There is that.
Yeah, you did have the very
Bloink.
slightly
Yes.
embarrassing mag drop.
Bloop. Yeah.
But that said, it was like so that's a big difference in what we do at two gun is the penalties are severe, especially with brutality scoring. And by not just going standard old double taps on each target, it's a very different type of presentation than you get anywhere else. So you shot them clean, you did the right thing, you slowed down.
Yep. It was close on a couple of them, but they were all clean.
It is interesting to note that by you slowing down, you shot it clean. My speeding up with 2 penalties brought us close together.
I'm curious to look at the footage now and see how much of my time was slower on rifle and how much of it was just being crap on pistol.
The pistol was definitely a significant part.
Yeah.
Put it back up for you guys.
Hey. Unload and show clear.
Well, you couldn't ask for a better run than that.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
It's gonna be a hard time. Open both eyes.
I got them like I said I figure if I met a lady at a match, and all of a sudden it just clicked. I could see it. It's really weird. Like all of a sudden, what the fuck? She's like she's your eyes are Sci-fi literary awards of any woman, but she's like second or third. But still, never been glossed over that threshold until like being really.
Nature comes full circle as Carl returns to his hat.
Yay! 70.15.
Damn! It's fast, man.
Yeah, pretty big. All right, so the last stage there, you were on me because what you had about 20 seconds on me.
I had 15 on you going in.
15.
About.
So, and then you shot that as clean as you possibly could.
That was awesome. I think I shot the entire stage actually clean.
I think you might be the fastest run for the match. Perhaps. That bipod served you well.
I love me a bipod.
Yeah.
Like this thing, light. You know, one of the cool things about this rifle configuration is the targets, whoever the match designer was for this is as normal, the sadistic ass.
Yep. True.
And put those two targets at the far corners of the bay. So you can't just sit in one place and pivot a little bit and hit the two targets. Did you see what I did on those?
You moved the whole gun.
I just picked up the whole front end of the gun and swung it over because the whole front end of the gun weighs about 2 pounds. And this bipod is plastic and very light, and it just... Whoop.
Now, does that bipod have swivel?
No.
I would argue...
Actually, I'm sorry, it does.
It's not enough.
But, I mean, you just deliberately set these targets so that no bipod could possibly pivot enough.
Our, like I said in one of the earlier parts of this video, frequently we set targets apart and we require transitions.
Yeah.
It's about site acquisition and transition more than anything.
Now, you know what could have been kind of interesting is if I move my bipod back to here
Yep.
and do the whole DMR bipod.
I'm going to go all Type 1 with your...
Yeah, Dragunov, Type 1, FR, you name it.
Yeah, sure.
But,
Yep.
but I love bipods for this sort of thing.
So going into this, I knew that you had time on me, and then I saw you run pretty much the cleanest run of the match, probably the winning for that stage. And I knew I couldn't catch up 20 seconds. But
Yeah, it's a tough
I
ask.
don't know. Hopefully it shows on video. I tried my best.
You rocked that thing, and 70 seconds is nothing to be ashamed of.
Yeah, it was 70 seconds. It wasn't clean. I was just literally trying to fire rounds as fast as I could get on the target with the hope I'd hit. Since this wasn't a limited round count, am I prone? Yeah, bam. And
that was
sometimes
a
that
smooth
works.
mag change too.
And well, I did that on the move.
Yeah, I saw.
Yeah. So that was all in the attempt to try and catch up those seconds. I didn't think I could, but hopefully on video you can see that my spirit was there to try my best to do so.
Yeah.
So I'd like to congratulate you in this What Would Stoner Do 2020. Heads up, you got me.
Thank you.
Yeah, good run. Yeah. So
I really like these things. Like,
But,
this is my favorite rifle.
is it?
Yes.
So you're saying
Well-
that you're saying that because it's our project, it's your favorite rifle?
No, I'm saying it because, and so favorite has to be qualified a bit, I suppose, because is it my favorite collectible rifle? Is it my favorite historical rifle? Is it my most valuable rifle? No, not by a long shot. But if I had to walk out the door and take one gun, because I might actually need a gun,
Yeah.
it is this, without any doubt in my mind.
And you know what? I feel the same way.
I will throw the FAMAS in my backpack because I love it and I don't want it to, like, if I'm leaving, I won't want to leave it behind, but this would be my rifle.
And inevitably people think that's an advertisement, but that's the truth. Like,
It's the whole reason we made these things in the first place.
yeah, when we started this project in 2017, we never knew that it would come into an actual commercial endeavor.
Yeah.
That was never the goal. The goal was to make the most modern, coolest, best AR possible.
Right.
A lot of people think that the whole thing was based on the lightest thing possible, which it is not.
No, far from it.
That is a complete misnomer. The reality was to make it as light as possible, but retain balance,
Right.
ruggedness and durability, and reliability.
And I think that the best example of that is the bolt carrier. There are a lot of lightweight bolt carriers out there that have a lot of competition use, and they would shave at least a couple ounces. I don't know exactly off the top of my head, but they would lighten the gun appreciably. But we don't want to use a lightweight bolt carrier.
Nope.
So
They do induce a lower level of reliability.
right. The thing is, it takes less gunk to get those things slowing down enough that they stop functioning reliably, and we didn't want that.
Yep. The whole thing all along was to make the modern SP1.
Yep, exactly.
And I didn't realize it's our project, but other people I think will say this as well when they get them in their hands. We did that.
I think we did.
These are the modern SP1
Yep.
with all the doodads
Yep. As much or as little doodad as you want.
at the same weight,
Yeah.
which is amazing.
Less.
A little
aren't they?
less.
Like, I'd have to go check it, but I'm pretty sure this without widgets on it is less than an SP1.
One of my favorite lines I ever heard was Ian Harrison on Recoil when we were just talking about the lower, but we had one of the early 2020 builds out for him, and he referred to it as a magic wand.
Yeah.
And I never thought of that, but I'm like, wow, the way it balances,
Pew, pew, pew,
kind
pew.
of is
Oh,
a
yeah.
magic wand.
Yeah.
So, anyways, I hope you had a good time.
I did.
Our first What Would Stunner Do 2020 versus,
Yep.
and it was a good time. It was fun, even though I screwed up on stage 2. It doesn't matter. It was still a fun match.
Good.
And having to try and catch up on that last stage kind of puts your heart into it. It's feels good to know you did your best. So, congratulations.
Thank you.
Yep. Hopefully you guys enjoyed watching this. Hopefully you're hyped on the What Would Stunner Do project, whether you're actually acquiring one already built from Brownells or if you're doing your own DIY thing. This concept has merit, and it really is pretty fascinating
Yeah, I think it does.
where we landed up. So once again, on that note, all the ammo today, InRange's Patreon. Thank you all you out there that keep me alive with your Patreon support. Couldn't do InRange without you. Regardless of that, InRange is not just on YouTube, all over the internet. You can find us all at InRange.tv/watch. Most importantly, subscribe and share with your friends.